So a 14-2 run, bridging the two quarters for the Aces. Boston is tangled up. Jump ball is the call.
I mean, when you reach around from behind to tie somebody up, that doesn't usually get you a jump ball. I mean, I don't know how. Watch this play right here. Look. They're going to call jump ball from behind? Look at Asia Wilson's like looking at the ref. Helena Boston's like, you got to be kidding me.
It looked like the WNBA referees has been caught yet again not playing fair with the Fever with Stephanie White. And she said that's bullshit. She said it's just like that, man. I've never seen Stephanie White curse, bro. She cursed yesterday at the...
When the referees are obviously attempting to give the game to your opponent, what should you do? You fight back more if you're the Indiana Fever. There is no denying that the game against the Las Vegas Aces revealed a negative aspect of WNBA officiating. This game had it all, from dubious calls that favored Asia Wilson to Stephanie White's furious outburst. However, this is what actually transpired when the Fever players made the decision that dishonest referees would not be allowed to rob them of their win. And why everything we need to know is shown by Caitlin Clark's sideline response. Tell us what you think of the WNBA referees in the comments section below. Hurry up.
Stuff the WNBA ignores, then makes foul calls like this on Sophie Cunningham beyond comical. Caitlin will shoot 50 free throws a game if she got this whistle. Now, we know Caitlin Clark has not been seeing a promising whistle from the WNBA referees. And I'm telling you right now, it don't look like she will, man.
Do you want to know the precise thing that made Stephanie White lose it? Let's be truthful. Referees are not the target of coaches' outbursts and yelling without significant provocation. However, that's precisely what happened when the officiating became so obviously biased that even White lost her temper. Something about this game didn't feel right from the first hint. Fans of the Fever began to wonder what they were viewing as soon as the call began to go in Vegas' favor. You know what irritates me? When, before the play even starts, you can guess which team will receive the favorable whistle.
Boston handoff Cunningham. Cunningham too strong. Mitchell able to save the day. And it's Mitchell going right to the rim. Beats the shot clock and lays it in. Mitchell to the rescue.
Sessions very disruptive, causing all kinds of havoc, late shot clock situations. And then Kelsey Mitchell.
The pivotal moment occurred during a play that revealed every flaw in WNBA officiating. Aaliyah Boston was clearly touched by Asia Wilson from behind. That contact ought to have been a clear foul call. The officials referred to it as a jump ball instead. The referees pretended nothing had happened when Boston was robbed. White totally lost it at that point. She yelled her dissatisfaction at officials who appeared intent on protecting Wilson at any costs, and her unfiltered reaction was caught on camera.
That's what Indiana's trying to do here with Vegas.
Mitchell leaves it. Howard open. Knocks down a three. There's McDonald. Jitterbug into the paint. Howard aggressive attack. Left hand. Got it to go. And a foul.
When she gets the basketball in space and she's got a one-on-one, Natasha Howard has a lot to do.
In her last 6 games from the three-point line. There's McDonald running the floor, doesn't get the whistle, but guess who to clean up?
The thing is this. This was not a singular occurrence. Wilson was constantly treated in ways that other athletes could only imagine. The whistle blew instantly when Boston made the same touch in comparable circumstances. The referees suddenly gained selective vision when Wilson did it. Even though you're viewing the same game, the regulations change based on the jersey you're wearing. Sophie Cunningham was a direct victim of this unfair treatment. When Wilson was the aggressor, plays that resulted in her being called for fouls were totally disregarded. As officials applied entirely different rules to identical circumstances, supporters were yelling at their screens because the difference was so glaring. Throughout the game, Boston received the same unfair treatment. Wilson made moves that had no repercussions, but as soon as Boston tried them, they were called fouls. There was no denying the pattern. While most players were punished for breathing too forcefully, Wilson was subject to a unique set of regulations. This was no accident. The purpose of this systematic bias was to maintain the Aces' competitiveness in a game where they were losing. What should have been a fair competition was transformed into something more akin to professional wrestling than basketball by the referees, who were creating opportunities for Vegas. The whole story is revealed by the free throw discrepancy. Even though the Fever attacked the basket hard the whole game, Vegas made 17 free throws compared to Indiana's 12. There was no exceptional play that merited those 5 additional attempts. Referees who appeared committed to keeping the Aces within striking reach were the ones who bestowed them. Here's what the referees didn't anticipate, though. Under the strain of dishonest officiating, Indiana's tenacity remained unwavering.
Offense was not the issue for Indiana on Tuesday. They put up 84 points despite the absence of Caitlin Clark. Cunningham hit 5 threes, and it's her first tonight. Stay with Indiana.
So Sophie Cunningham doing a really good job of reading the stagger. You have options off that, and she's reading the second.
When corruption tried to rob the Fever of their victory, the players stepped up. And they all dealt the Aces' aspirations of winning a championship devastating blows. Do you want to witness mental fortitude? See what transpired when these athletes refused to let prejudiced officiating dampen their spirits. This game began with Kelsey Mitchell appearing utterly out of rhythm. She struggled with blatant referee prejudice that hampered the team's momentum, missing her first 4 shots and going 4 of 19 from the field over the course of 3 quarters. Under that pressure, weaker players would have given up. Mitchell, she reserved her finest for the most important moments. She had the entire 4th quarter to herself. 9 points, including the game-winning 3-pointer that put Indiana ahead on 4 of 5 shots. They never gave up. A'ja Wilson was completely subjugated by Natasha Howard on both ends of the court. Howard outperformed the alleged superstar who receives all the good calls, recording her 6th double-double with 18 points on 6 of 9 shooting and 13 rebounds. Her 11-point surge in the 3rd quarter eliminated Vegas' lead and demonstrated to the audience that skill always triumphs over prejudice. This effort was reminiscent of the Commissioner's Cup game, which sent Aces supporters packing early, as Howard even made a rare 3-pointer and added 3 steals.
And look at this travel. This is the craziest thing ever. The ref's right in front of the ref's eyes. This girl's pivoting on 2 feet, jumping around, gets the ball, I don't even know. But Lexi Hall, look at her reaction.
Aaliyah, despite being hacked by the referees the entire game, Boston showed fresh confidence by scoring 13 points and pulling down 10 rebounds for her own double-double. Boston's propensity for long-range shooting extended the floor and caused issues that Vegas was unable to resolve. You adjust by making shots that the referees can't take away from you when you're getting fouled on every possession, but they won't sound the whistle.
Caitlin at one stage jumping up off the bench to start screaming around.
Accomplishes a 3. Sophie Cunningham scored 15 points on 4 or 5 shots, making 3 of 4 3-pointers as if they were layups, continuing her blazing July run. For someone who has averaged 13.7 points per game and shot 58.1% from 3 in her last 6 games, this performance was simply another typical workday. Cunningham was the ideal complement to Indiana's core because of her range and adaptable defense. And each time another shot fell, A'ja Wilson's annoyance was evident on her face.